Here we go.
Here we are.
Here we are, yeah. Hi, Kirsten. Today we're talking to Kirsten Macdonald from the Doorway Group, but there's so much more to Kirsten. And I would like her to tell us what she's all about and where she's been and what she's been doing.
Oh my goodness, Matthew. I don't know if you really want to know where I've been. How are you this morning? Are you good?
I'm good. I'm very good. Yeah.
Yes.
As I said, a bit of nervous anticipation, but yeah, we'll get through it.
Me too. I'm so thrilled you asked me to be on here.
Yeah,
so
cool.
What would you like to know specifically? A bit about...
Well, you've got a lot of... You said you've had 5 businesses. Now, that's pretty phenomenal. Just give us a brief rundown of your experience with small business and where you've come from and where you are now.
Yes, certainly. So for those watching, I'm Kirsten Macdonald and my partner in life and business is Travis Macdonald. Some of the people watching or may watch later may be familiar with Geelong social media that I had, and Travis was the head or the face of Jack's Tyres and Auto. And we sold that 18 months ago, as well as being the editor of Ponderings magazine as well. And we also had Angel Scent Candles, which was based in Geelong, but all over Australia. And we sold Jack's 18 months ago, and we were left with that decision of what now? What are we going to, what do we do now, which a lot of business owners find themselves in. And we put a lot of thought into it, and we thought, well, we have been very blessed to be prosperous in business, and with that 20 odd years of many different industries, why don't we give back essentially, and then how can we do that? And so it's quite a broad offering under the umbrella of the Doorway Group. So we are digital media mentoring, small business coaching, and publishing as well. So we try, our whole gig is to really be of service and to give back, because we've been incredibly supported in business, and we felt like it was time for us to give back and collaborate with business owners and to help them as much as we can to navigate the different areas that they might need some help in. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell anyway.
So tell us about the Doorway Group specifically in a little bit more detail as to what your aim is, what your goal is.
Mm-hmm. So when we rebranded under the umbrella, we put a lot of, we spent months really thinking about what it is. We don't want to tell people how to run their business. What is it exactly? And that's, for anyone, that's your unique value proposition. So we spoke to a lot of business owners and what is it that you need? We looked at what other services were offering, and we thought, well, how could we do that differently? And I think what we really came up with was to be as nimble as we could and to make it as accessible as possible without all the hustle, without the, big sign-up fees and all this sort of thing that you often see. But also what we found that was unique was the fact that we had run successful businesses. We'd done the, life university, I suppose, and we'd had the success, but we've also had the, managing teams when you grow, all of the problems that you encounter in small business and the hurdles and growing from that, as well as, it's not just the expertise. It's all great to learn everything in a book or in a course, but it all comes down to what's in the bank account. What's in this experience? How have you experienced these different industries? And we naturally, over the years as well, have had a lot of people reach out to both of us, Travis included, would be like a bat phone. There's so many friends in business that would, if something went wrong or they didn't know how to do something, they'd be on the phone to him. Like, what's this? And how can I, this is going wrong with this margin, and what would you do? And so it kind of felt like a natural progression for us to step into this space. But ultimately for us, it was about just giving back. We felt really passionate about that because Geelong's been incredibly supportive to us over the years in our business. And I think that's true for a lot of people, Matthew. I think there comes a stage in your life where you reach a point where it is about what can you do for other people? How can you be of service? How can I help? And ultimately, that's the core of our business. That's what we're really passionate about, and we love it. We love it. So we started up July last year, and it's been the best thing we've ever done. It's been so cool.
That's fantastic. And talk about helping people. You're a mentor, aren't you, as well?
Yes. Yeah. So digital media mentor as well.
Was that the Melbourne Innovation Centre or?
Yes, yeah. Through the VicGov, they've got through the Melbourne Innovation Centre, they've got a program where we get to collaborate with small businesses all over Victoria. Yeah, that's been amazing as well.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're in the second round of the program now. The first one, small businesses around Victoria can pay a nominal fee and they'll get access to X amount of hours of mentoring, and it's a very small fee. And as well as MIC also provide workshops and training and events and all sorts. So it's an amazing opportunity. For myself, it's just been incredible. Each day I can get on here, I could be talking to a surgeon, I could be talking to a doula, a massage therapist, a coffee shop owner. I could be talking to somebody that has an amazing Facebook platform full of wonderful business people that also prints and does things. You know, you don't always know what you're going to get. And so being able to deep dive in 1 or 2 hours and then have that ongoing relationship through the program and watching people grow. Oftentimes people come in going, oh, I've got to do social media and I don't really want to do it. And I know I have to do it. And then when you explain it really simply and give them all the tools that we know how to make it really easy, they oftentimes discover that it's an incredible connection moment between themselves and their client, and it becomes fun, believe it or not. And then when they start to implement and they start to grow, and then the excitement becomes quite contagious. You know, I particularly love that. I love the excitement and the energy of it, and watching people grasp it and then take it and run with it and then get that buzz when it works. So yeah.
Full disclaimer, I use Kirsten myself.
Yes,
she helped me through she helped me through some pretty unique times in my life, and it was really cool. It was really good, and it was nice.
Thank you. It was nice
to get to know you too, Kirsten, and I'm glad that I specifically chose someone from Geelong as well that understood the Geelong small business landscape. So thank you for that.
Right back at you, because I had a lot of fun with you too, and I loved our brainstorming and coming up with lots of cool and wacky ideas. That was awesome.
It was. Now, tell us a bit about your connection to Geelong and why you stuck around in Geelong, and what's your history with Geelong.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was over 20 years ago now. Travis and I were only talking about this last night. I think it was 2001. We were living in a small country town called Kyabram up in the Goulburn Valley. And there was an opportunity for those that have been around Geelong for a while to buy Lewis tyres in Belmont. And so we, with some of Travis's family as well, we moved down to Geelong. We went from the sticks to the big smoke, because Geelong was the big smoke to us. And we started, hit the ground running with Lewis tyres. And then over the next 8 years, we actually transformed that into Tyre Power, and we grew that to 3 stores in Geelong, North Geelong and Drysdale. And then we sold that. And then we had a little hiatus. I started Geelong social media. We did all sorts of things, and then did some corporate work as well, and led us back to Jack's Tyres in Auto there in Moorabool Street. And with Angel Scent Candles as well, my first stockists we grew to over 600 stores around Australia, but all of the stockists that gave us a go were in Geelong. So Geelong for us, we've pretty much launched all our businesses in Geelong, and the Geelong community is incredibly supportive. And so that's pretty much what's kept us here, and a great place to raise our children, who are all, one's nearly an adult now, but the rest are. And all our family followed us down here. So all my family, I've got a very close-knit, quite large, eclectic tribe, and they all followed us down. So most of our family and friends are down here, and we love the beach as well. But Geelong has been it's sort of what I love about Geelong. It's big enough to be competitive, and competition is always good, I believe, but small enough to be a community, you know? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on all those things.
Yeah.
Tell me about a great client experience and what you learnt from it.
Oh, gosh. This is going to sound really flaky and cliche, but I don't think there's particularly through the MIC program, I don't think there's a single session where I don't learn from the client, particularly when they've got really niche areas of expertise and they're sharing their knowledge. So of course you can help them with their brand story. So our dinner table can be really lively because I'll be like, did you know that this does this? And oh my gosh, did you know this? And yeah, but overall, I would say what I've learnt the most, particularly in the last 12 months, I tend to call the client I love the most is the alchemist. I call them the alchemist. It's somebody that's had a problem, a perceived problem, and they've turned it into a solution. Or they're giving back, like someone like yourself too, with what you do with GSBN. They're passionate about supporting others, or they may have discovered an issue in their industry and they really passionately want to change it, or a product that they really believe in, maybe as a result of being unwell. And they come across with passion, they want to do the work, but their intent isn't just about flipping a coin. It's not just about the hustle. I want to make more money. It's actually because they really want to do something, and they turn something that may have been negative into something incredibly positive. And I'll always say, oh, I had another alchemist today. And that has helped us to work out who our ideal client, everybody talks about who's your ideal client. I think before I was like, anyone who needs our help is our client. Whereas now I think that's taught us that, because there's a real positive energy to that. And when you've got like people and you come together and collaborate together, you can really make things happen.
Yeah, I think so. I think the community aspect of business is probably one of the most important but overlooked marketing strategies businesses can have if they're tuned into it. I think it promotes growth, it promotes community, promotes passion, care, and all the other things. No one can do it alone. So, yeah, I think that's important.
Oh, I would agree. Yeah.
So, what are your future plans for the business?
Oh my goodness. So for us, I think we've grown a bit quicker than what we anticipated. So it will definitely be about balance, because we've been working very, very hard for a very long time. And so I guess you could say we're loving workaholics with good intent, which is good, but we also need to have balance in our lives. I think we'd really, really like to get into the workshop space, because that was always fun when we had Geelong social media. And I love the in-person collaboration that can happen. So that's definitely something that we're looking towards as well. But also with Travis, he's got the most uncanny ability. We really want to grow that area. He can go into any retail store and spend an afternoon with them and interview staff, have a look at a profit and loss sheet, and be able to it's just uncanny. There's no way I could do it like he does, and can say, yep, you need to do this. I can see this area. He's a real troubleshooter. So expanding on that as well for him, I think, would be really good, and for people to take advantage of those skills. And and hopefully more travel and meet more people. Love meeting people and learning new things, Matthew. It's all about learning.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you there. Always learning. It's important. But if we're open to it, like if we're open to learning new things and showing a bit of humility with regards to not knowing as much as like not knowing anything really.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all humans being and learning.
And humble curiosity.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody should leave their egos at the door, I always say. Walk in with humble curiosity because you just don't know what you'll learn.
Okay, onto advice. Do you have any advice for new businesses or even?
Oh gosh, I have lots of advice, but if I had to, I know you asked me with so three main. Look, I would say if you're starting a new business, what is absolutely crucial is knowing where you're going with your finances. This is just so big. Oftentimes people, they go into business, which is incredibly brave. Like it's a really brave thing to go in and start your own business. You've really got to back yourself. But I'm really good at this. I want to be my own boss. This is what I want to do. But understanding things like what's your break-even point. We're really going on about this on our socials at the moment. Do you know how much money you need to make a profit? And then allowing for margins for growth, because if you do it well, you're going to grow. So with your pricing structures, how are you going to make a profit? And what channels are you going to use in your business to create a really unique value proposition that's profitable? Because at the end of the day, we're in business, why? To have freedom and to make a profit. So that's my first piece of advice. The second is obviously website and social media. So many people in small business have a lot of fear around it, and it's made incredibly complex for a reason. Oh my goodness, I've got little lambs that have just, I hope you can't hear that have just walked past my window.
It's all good. It's all good, all part of it.
All part of the real experience. So yeah, if you can back yourself, try and gain some confidence in that area. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't believe the BS that it's all technical and hard and all of that, because that's not true. But to also, which we often see this kind of reverse engineered, what happens is people go, yeah, I've got to be on social media. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And then someone says, what's your brand story? Right? And that gets thrown around a little bit, but it's actually asking the question of what's your why? It's so important. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? What makes you different than everybody else? And why is that important to you? What were you influenced by, like in life, to bring you to this moment? And when you do that at the beginning, instead of it being a problem, eventually you'll get asked it. Instead of it being a problem down the track, actually use it as your foundation, because you'd be amazed how much of your story, your products, your business will become infused with all of that. It also helps to drive other key messages in your business. And then when you do grow, right, and you get team, you get employees, they become infused with your why. They want to be a part of that journey. So that's super important. And the other one is, and I see this is to really surround yourself with supportive people. Be discerning. There's a lot of tall poppy syndrome out there. It's incredibly important, again, to make sure that you surround yourself with a person or people that you can trust, that you can talk to, that you can brainstorm with, there's no such thing as a bad idea. It's all just about teasing it out and thinking about it and doing a brain dump, really, and getting it all out there, and think of innovative ways that you can transform other people's lives. I don't care if it's a loaf of bread, a cup of coffee, or mental health, whatever it is that you're trying to do to make the world a better place, because we hope everybody is trying to do that. But yeah, trust is very important, and to surround yourself with people that are not knocking you down, but holding you up and helping, I would say. Because at the end of the day, Travis always says, the boys at the shop used to call him the coach. He says, you don't win a marathon without training, finesse, and performance and consistency. So, and business is a marathon. It's hard work. And so in order to do that, you want to make sure that you've got all the nutrients, planning, all of that regime in place. so that you've given yourself your very, very best shot of not just making it work, but for it to become wonderful, like really wonderful, and to bring in a really healthy profit. Yeah.
I think the story of the business is really crucial, really important, and being authentic about it too.
Yes.
Like people for a while now are starting to see through the fakery of some of the messages that go out there.
Thank goodness.
Well, that's fantastic. But when that fakery is exposed, it's exposed epically. And it ruins reputations. So start from a place of authenticity and truth.
Yeah.
And accountability, I suppose.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can.
So what do you think what are the telltale signs, do you think, of authenticity online? Because you're very discerning. One thing since I've got to know you, your intuition is on point.
It's a too good to be true sort of attitude to things. It's a fake it till you make it sort of attitude to things. I don't think we're doing a service to our customers if we're faking it till we make it, because we're not giving them the best service if we're sort of cutting corners and stuff like that. So
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, or the people that say that, like I know in our situation where we've seen, and it's not running down other business coaches by any mean, but often people are business coaches because they've trained to be, and they make money out of being coaches. And it's like, if you've got someone sitting there saying, have you ever had a cash flow problem? I'm like, yeah, we have. Remember that time back in 2007 where we got caught out because of this, and then this happened, but this is what we did. Sharing the vulnerabilities, and also sharing the times when things didn't go really well, because that's always a learning opportunity, let's face it.
You hit the nail on the head there with the vulnerabilities.
Oh yeah.
I'm attracted to authenticity, human, and vulnerability, because I think that's very real, and we can work with that. We can we can improve it, and we can work on the problems, and that's sort of like opening yourself up to people. It can be hard, but it builds trust. We work with people we know, like, and trust, and if we don't have that trust, we won't work with them.
And that goes back to survival mechanisms within the human brain. One, as you know, I love anthropology and what makes people tick. And if you think about what are the things in real life that help us to establish trust, and this is what I often tell people with social media. Now, you need to replicate that in the digital world. So how do you do that? It's being able to replicate the authenticity and trust, which we call social proof. I mean, that's the buzzword for it. But at the end of the day, it's, hello, oh, I like you, I trust you, you've got something I'd like to purchase. That's like, yes, I do. Here we go, and let's negotiate a price, and then off we go. You got what you needed, I got what I needed, and we all like each other. Yeah. But it's at the end of the day, that's marketing. Everyone can spin it as much as they like, but it really comes down to, of course, there's tricky ways to do it. There's fancy ways to do it, but that's what it really comes down to, is likability. And the best way to do that you have the power to do that with social media, is the brand story element of it, is that people know who you are. So if people know you and they connect with you, and if there was a competitor, for example, and all things were the same price, the same quality and everything, are they going to go with a brand they know nothing about personally, or that gives the essence of culture, or are they going to go with somebody that they resonate with, that they feel they're in alignment with? Well, it's a no-brainer. I think one of the things that's been very interesting in the online spaces after COVID, I think with a lot of people in lockdown all over the world, they wanted real. I think the space is changing from fake to a big call for authenticity.
Yeah, and not so much about the numbers anymore either.
No, definitely not.
The influence because you got numbers, like
Yeah.
Those numbers could have come from anywhere. Like,
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, it's
you talk
exactly.
about social proof. That's the biggest win there. The social proof. People who trust us, that have trusted people. Say, for instance, there's someone that's recommended us or recommended a business, but that person themselves is trusted. That's the best that's the best recommendation. That's word of mouth, but word of mouth is built on those things. But to get word of mouth, we have to put ourselves out there to find those people.
Yeah.
To connect with those people.
I agree, yeah.
And it amplifies it much quicker through networking and stuff like that. Yeah.
And look, we want to have as many followers as possible purely from the perspective of, brand recognition is really good. Yeah. But for me personally, I could have a post, for example, that has, 800 likes.
Yeah.
Then there'll be the post that has 6, but it'll be the comment underneath that someone says, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that today. Or somebody makes a discovery call and they say, I actually saw your social post and I went, oh, that's me. That's me. That's more powerful.
Yep, I think so.
I do. I think you've got so many opportunities on social media to impact people in a positive way. It's not just, we're on there because we want to connect with people, but it's all about human connection. Even business is all about human connection.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even more so because people are investing in you. They're paying you money, so they want to know that they're getting value from their money.
Yeah.
In the end, that's what it's about. Anyway, how can people get in touch with you, Kirsten?
Yeah, sure. So they can head over to The Doorway, which is thedoorway.com.au. I would really encourage anybody on here. We've just started this. We've got like a triage service. There's no sell either, I promise. Cross my heart. It's a half hour, a free call. So if anyone out there watching, if you've got any issue in your business or you need some help with it and you want 30 minutes of our time to come up with some quick and easy ways to help you, there's actually a booking page on there for that. I think we won't get overrun. Hopefully we don't. But yeah, it's a half hour and it's just no strings attached. Just see how we can help people.
Thank you for your time, Kirsten. That's fantastic, and that's
I really enjoyed this.
That's so generous of you giving that session.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Not really. I was just, everybody does their little thing to give back to people. That's what we want to do. But I just want to, reassure. That's one thing we're anti. Key message: we're anti. We're never about the hustle. We're all about the help.
And we had some technical issues at the start, but I think we got there, and it was fun anyway. And it was
the irony.
It was very informative, and it was a little bit glitchy, but that's okay. We soldiered on, and I think you gave us a lot of value. Thank you very much.
Good. Oh, thank you for having me.
That's all right.
We'll talk soon.
Good on you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.